Based on all your experience, everyone you worked with, seen, what do you think, exemplifies a good shipping investor?
A good shipping investor needs to have you need to have legs. So you need to be patient. You need patience because shipping is cyclical, but you need to be able to afford to be patient. I think that's important. I think having a runway is important. To be a good shipping investor, you should have runway. You should not be too you shouldn't be too jumpy, too scared of shipping in terms of things will happen. Ships collide, ships ground, engines fall apart, cargo gets spilled to the sea. Things happen. Of course, now we have you can add sort of more geopolitical issues. Ships get hit by missiles. I think you need to understand that that's part of the business, but you need to be able to handle when it happens. Alignment between the operational capital and the financial capital in shipping, regardless if it's through a stock listed company or if it's in a private sort of direct SPV kind of deal, to make sure that the people working on behalf of your money, the alignment needs to be in place. I think, and these are all things that we have sort of tried to put into our strategy when investing, because I think, of course, we are direct investors. We have, closed-end funds, 5 to 7 years. Of course, much different than being in and out of frontline on a sort of trading weekly basis. Completely different. But I think still, and there's a reason, there's a lot of reasons why I don't do the public market. I don't have psychology. I get to jump. I don't understand the stock market. But so I stick to what I do. But I think even when investing in stock markets, you need to understand, you want to pick the good, because you have 5 companies, they're all in the product tanker space, okay? So you would think that they should all perform the same, but they don't, because it is different. And one of the things you should look for is the incentive for management, to work on behalf of the shareholders, because the shareholders is really your money. And I think that's really what we're also trying to do when you do a direct investment, to make sure that the people on the ground in charge of preserving and hopefully making money on behalf of your money, they also need to make sure, and they won't do that unless they also get.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be in a position where, regardless of what happens, the ship owner gets rich and the financial capital just sits there and wonder what happened. I mean, because I think that's a lot of the perception from non-shipping, as investors that have chosen not to do shipping, is because they think that their stories is that every time they've tried, they always lose money, and for some reason the ship owner always comes out on top. And I think, but you need to start with alignments between the guy sitting or the girl sitting fixing the ship and the person owning the ship. It's just little things. I think instead of trying to call Chinese coal imports the next 3 weeks, because I mean that's more of a bet.
Yeah.
And you can make bets, but I think we try to avoid making bets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shipping is like almost a perfect example of like the butterfly effect. You can have one small situation that leads to another one, and to understand that and predict that, close to impossible.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think, and then you sprinkle that with black swans, and you have no chance.
Exactly.
I think one example is second half of 2019. You had IMO 2020 coming. Everyone was that's what everyone was talking about. People position themselves into the product space, particularly in the product space, but also in the crude space, but most in the product space. And then, of course, you had the scrubber discussion and the spread discussion on top. Everyone was looking at this. 1st of January came, okay, it looked like everything had got it right. The people that sort of bet on the spread, with the scrubber people, the ton mile effect on the products, and then mid-February no one was talking about IMO 2020. We had COVID, and then if you haven't positioned yourselves to sort of withstand that type of black swan, you will be thrown off the train at the worst possible time, and you will wait 15 years before you come back in again. And I think positioning yourself for being wrong is a good thing, because you're mostly going to be wrong.
Yeah.
But you might be right on the long term. But the thing is to get it right short term in shipping. At least the way we see it, that's betting. And we don't mind having luck. I just don't want to be dependent on being lucky.
Exactly.
I'm very happy being it, but I don't have to, because then I won't sleep at night. If something has to happen within a certain time, and if it doesn't, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Those kind of bets I don't take.